We are live. Hello. Welcome to the Quality Coding stream. My name is John Reed. I am a technical agile coach and trainer with Industrial Logic. And greetings, Mudshark. Anyone else? A couple other folks here. Let's go. Hi, welcome back, NTTP. Good to have you. And SetPT, hello. Great to have you all. Let's see. What's going on? Well, for starters, for those who are watching, usual announcements. For those who are watching after the fact on YouTube, if you like Swift coding, hey, give this a like, and hit the bell and train the algorithms so that I keep coming back as long as you want me to. And whenever you're tired of me, you say turn that stuff off, and that's fine. And on Twitch, give me a follow. And if you really like it, give me a subscribe. Let's see what we got here. Before we get into code, more usual announcements. This time I want to highlight this e-learning that I worked on. It is available in various languages, including Katas, the Swift version. So if you want to learn all about microtesting, what is microtesting? It's unit testing done right. Mike Hill, or G-Paw Hill, came up with the term microtesting because folks discovered that people would say, oh, we have unit tests. And then he and our other coaches would go in and go, oh my gosh, that's not what we meant. Or unit tests are slowing us down, and unit tests don't work for us. And we go in and we look and we find out, no, that's not what we meant. So we came up with a different term, or G-Paw did, and I've adopted it, and it works well in sort of the style of coding that you see me do: micro-testing, micro-commits. Today we want to do micro-objects. The format it's not reading. This is e-learning. It is, I mean, there is reading, but there are exercises, there are videos, there are quizzes, and if you are willing to go for to use app code, it has automated grading. Does that show it on here? I don't think we have an example quite on this page, but it will automatically check the unit tests that you write, the micro tests that you write and submit and upload into the e-learning, and it says, oh, you might have missed a thing. How about this? So it has, here, it's got instant critiques. That's what this is, right here. Videos from me and from other folks. Check it out. We are working on the Gilded Rose, the dreaded code kata that started off super ugly. It's still kind of ugly, but at least it's broken down and is fully covered by tests. We did the breaking down last time in what I called like mindless refactoring, just continually applying the lift up conditional refactoring pattern until we came up with we separated the updating of the quality according to the type of item it is by its name. And this seems like a good time to, I mean, the requirement, if I remember correctly, is to add conjured items that degrade twice as fast. So, you know, I could add if item name is conjured. I can't type. Then do this other thing. And return. You know, update quality. I can't type for conjured item. Something like this. And then get the heck out of there. We could do that. And that's not bad. It really isn't bad. But I want to lean more into doing things in the style of micro objects, because I like object-oriented programming. I think it is still incredibly valuable. So that's the plan. Oh, we got a few. Someone else has joined. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Do say hello. All right. And just a quick review, we have one test that's actually running, I forget, 120 test cases. And we are using TCR, meaning test and commit or revert. It will immediately give us feedback. So, ready? Let's go. Let's see how far. My hope is to finish this up today. And I will tell you about my plans going forward, or my ideas going forward. You can tell me what it's like. Hey, Sinead. Man, you are up late. Okay. So, micro objects. What I want to get away from, what I would like to do is follow Kent Beck's saying, his famous tweet, to make a change, first make the change easy, then make the easy change. What I'd love to be able to do is just drop in a new type of thing, conjured items, and sort of have it automatically take care of the updating for us. But we're not in a place where we have that because we don't have aged brie and so forth as objects. So here we go. If you were here for the parrot kata, this will look familiar. In the parrot kata, we created like the Norwegian blue parrot, the African parrot, I forget what the others are, and passed the responsibility off to them. And what I neglected to say in that one was that that all comes from applying good stuff from the refactoring book. My gosh, if you don't have this book is worth its weight in gold. And we want to apply replace conditional with polymorphism. So I look at 272 to find the steps. It's easy to do these without looking these up, but it's still helpful to me to look up the mechanics. Mechanics. If classes do not exist for polymorphic behavior, create them together with a factory function to return the correct instance. Okay, here we go. Let's make them. And what do we have in terms of items? Oh, we have a class, an item class. It's not great as a class. You know, it's just a bag of data, but they're vars so that they can change. So let's create some subclasses. I'll do it below this extension. And these are public, so I'll continue to honor that. Let's see. What do we got? Aged Brie. Public class. I can't type. This is going to be an item. And what are the other types? Backstage pass. Backstage passes. And sulfurous. Hand of Ragnaros. I'll say sulfurous. Okay, so we've defined 3 classes. I'm going to run the tests. Nothing is calling this yet, but as the green here shows that these aren't committed. So as soon as I run the tests and they pass, they commit. Together with a factory method. A factory function to create the right instance. Okay, so let's do that. Let's make a factory. Make item. It should take these same parameters. And it will return an item. Public func. It's a problem. I work, right now I'm not working in Swift very much. Forgetting things. Name. Okay. So here we go. Depending on the name, and we could do this as a switch statement, I think. Let me just copy these. Lap them over. And this is a bunch of noise right now. It's just for reference. But I want to get out of red. Right now we have a failure, the syntax error. It's got to return something. So let's return the dumb thing, the dumbest thing. And I want to do this so that I can make my micro commit. Boom. Now, we can say if item name is aged Brie, then return aged Brie. Oh, this is interesting. It's using the same parameters, but it really shouldn't need to, because we know it's aged Brie. Like, I should be able to just do this. Of course, this doesn't exist. Crandev. Jeez. So let's create this initializer. Right there. Cell in is, I believe these are int and int, and it should call like that. What is it complaining about here? Cannot find. Oh. There. Now this should pass, right? No, it won't. We should fill in the rest of the things. And this needs to return. Nothing is calling this. We should make a call this. How do we do that? I think I want to change the tests because right now nothing is calling it, but we should start to use this right away. So here, where it is creating an item, we should call item.makeItem with all that same stuff. Okay, so this is going to be the first change that doesn't work. Static. Ta-da! Okay. And by the way, I neglected to say Crandev1. Your first time chat. Hello! Hooray! Welcome. And a few more folks have come. Welcome. So until that change, this was code that wasn't really used, but now it is used. It's creating the aged brie thing and doing nothing else. Now, if I do something like I mess up the name, let's say brie, this should fail the tests and revert my change. So we are actually making a difference now. Let's keep going with this pattern. What do you mean you can't type fast enough? Are you mimicking me? Like, are you typing what I'm typing? Good grief, man. Yeah, I thought your name was familiar, Crandev. So welcome back as your clone. Let's create this one. And we do have we've got some, you know what? I'm gonna just get it to work first. But I'm thinking I've got duplication here. Like if I get this name wrong, that's not great. Backstage passes. Let's create this initializer. No, not that. And pass this in, except this will not be aged brie. This will be AppCode has and all of the JetBrains IDEs have a built-in clipboard manager. And I'm not finding the one I want. Let's do that. And this should pass. And commit. Good. So that's that. Otherwise, we do sulfurous. Let's create the initializer. I'm going to copy this, but paste in sulfurous, the hand of Ragnaros. It commits. Otherwise, it returns a plain old item. So I can get rid of that comment now. So this is gross. I don't like it. And this is one of the great things about having things fully tested is I can start to refactor. The I think getting these names out seems important. What? Introduce variable. Yeah, I guess so. Let me pull these out as variables. So that'll pass. Same here. And same here. And now let's move these up. Except that they ought to be static. The reason I want them static is because I can't, if it's just a property, I can't access it from inside of this static function. There, with that, I should be able to come down here and say, you know what, use the correct name because it does matter. So this is item aged brie. This becomes item backstage passes. And getting rid of this duplication is just, you know, it's insurance against making dumb mistakes. All right. Now, I also don't like if, how about a single switch statement? Switch on the name. What's it? Wine. Case. Aged brie. I wish there were a thing to do this automatically for me. Case sulfurous. That gets rid of that. Otherwise, that's better. So it's still, you know, is there still a conditional? Yes, absolutely there is a conditional, but it's over here. Like everything in coding, ultimately, everything in your computing world comes back down to simple procedural programming somewhere along the way, statements in sequence, conditionals, and loops. Well, really comes down to go-tos, right? If you think about how it gets turned into actual machine code. And all we're doing in any code is reshaping things to move those things around so that the complexity is out of our way as much as possible. Now, I apologize, but I need a quick bio break. My coffee is just running through me. Hang on, I'll be right back. Oops, wrong screen. I'm back. Sorry about that. Unusual. Okay, where are we? We are on if classes do not exist for polymorphic behavior, create them together with a factory function. Use the factory function. We're doing that. Move the conditional function to the superclass. If the conditional logic is not in a self-contained function, use extract function to make it so. Well, it's really in the factory method there. Pick one of the subclasses. Create a subclass method that overrides the conditional statement method. Okay. Okay. So back over in the Gilded rows, this is what we have. It's still switching on the item name. And we want to move things really what I want is to ask the item to update its own quality. Like that. And so I feel a need to, am I going off track? Or is this what he meant? Hang on a second, 272. Should have put my bookmark in there. I think this is what Fowler meant. Move the conditional function. Oh, move the conditional function to the superclass. This is the conditional function. Yes. This is the conditional function. We want to do, we want to do this. I want to do a move method. So first, if it's not in a self-contained function, use extract function. I mean, it is kind of self-contained. Let me do it this way. Let me call a function that doesn't exist, and we'll use caller create. There it is. Let me move it down below the initializer and run tests because I want that to commit. Now I want to move this into there. So this is, let me put down the bookmark here. We are now switching gears and going to move method or move function. 198, look it up. 198. Check if the chosen function is polymorphic. Copy the function to the target context. Adjust it to fit in its new home. So I'm going to copy this. Move it into here. Adjust it to fit in its home. And that means like every place in here. All of these need to come along for the ride. Let me reset. What am I doing there? Come on. Gilded. There we go. I think that's the right one. Let me reset hard. That's not what I thought. Where the heck am I? This is the wrong Gilded rows, probably. Oh. There we go. Reset hard. Try again. So what I wish I could do, but AppCode doesn't have it. The other IDEs do for other languages. Actually, AppCode has it for Objective-C. I wish I could do a move function on this. That's ultimately what I want, and because then it would go and say, oh, well, if you're going to move this, you also need to move these. So let's move each of these. Eek. How to do this in a nice way. Let me I think I'm just going to have to take one at a time. Let's see if I can't do this. I'm going to copy this, put it into item for now. And get rid of every item dot inside of here. And that should compile. Good. So that's one. Update quality for everything else. Update quality for backstage passes. Let me just copy these one at a time. I'm going to move this here. Do the same thing of replacing item dot, or getting rid of it so that we're just referring to the properties. Yes, you're exactly right. It doesn't need item anymore. That's a good point. That is a solid point. Let me do that in a following step. Aged brie. Committed. And is that it? Okay. Now let me try again. I probably wouldn't have needed to do all that if I'd kept it all inlined. In fact, maybe I could have inlined it. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so I want to move this inside of update quality. Really, I want to cut it because otherwise it'll update it twice. And we got some, how do I do this here? Get rid of that junk from the chat. Okay, so now all these exist. Yes, it's passing them in. Actually, these I'm going to just pass in self just to get it to compile. And remove item name. Whoops. Too much. Try again. From only inside of the selection. Replace in selection. I've got that. There. Let's see if this builds, passes, and so forth. Great. So that was a move that took a few steps, but that's okay. Each step passed. You know, I discovered a need, sort of ran into a problem where I couldn't update quality without updating these other things. All these are now dead code. No usage is found. I wish it would highlight it for me. But all these are now dead. Oop. Yes. Now, hi, Yeremis. Welcome. or even if you've been here before, if this is your first time chatting, so good to have you. Will I be doing the Advent of Code? I will not. There are plenty of other people to follow for that. Like, shoot, I had a notification earlier today. Let me see if I can find it. I lost the notification. But there are plenty of folks doing Advent of Code, of course, on their own, and there probably somebody's live streaming it, but there's no way I'd be able to keep up with a daily challenge. And maybe if I weren't live streaming it, maybe I could do it, but no, I've got too much to do. So thank you for your question, though. And I hope if are any of you doing it, chime in the chat if you are doing the Advent of Code. Look at what's happened to the Gilded Rose. We just moved like everything about it into the item. Interesting. But now, as was pointed out, we are unnecessarily passing in the item. So let's change these. What is it? Change signature, Command F6. And remove the parameter. This is why I didn't want to do it right away, because that will do it in one shot for me. Same here. And same here. Oops. Remove parameter. Okay. Now, I think that we can update quality. We can override. Here. Back I come. These steps are so good. Pick one of the subclasses. Age debris. Create a subclass method that overrides the conditional. Copy the body and adjust it to fit. So I'm going to go to age debris, override, update quality, and instead of calling super, I'm going to call update quality. Oh, I can't access it because it's private. Let me make them file private. Let me take everything in here and replace private with file private. I really like changing in selection, doing a find and replace inside of a selected area. I think Xcode does that, offers that too, but I've not used it very much. Here I'm using it like a lot. Let's just do that as a change by itself. Okay, now let me try overriding. And calling update quality for age debris. There it is. And now set PT. AppCode seems to have some great shortcuts and also seems to be pretty snappy. It's a shame that it's well paid. I might have been inclined to see if I could adapt to it otherwise. You can use the EAP version as long as it exists. So, Mudshark, good tip from Mudshark. The EAP, I never remember what that stands for. Early Access Program, is their beta release, their open beta. And you can download that and use it right now without paying a thing. And until the Early Access Program closes, you can use it. So go check that out. And once it closes, then, the time bomb goes off and it's like, the beta is done. But check it out. And for my money, this saves me so much time. It is well worth it. On the other hand, at Industrial Logic, we use all these tools of all sorts of JetBrains IDEs, and so I've got a corporate subscription. So that would be the ideal thing, would be to ask your manager, hey, I'd like to, first use it for free. I don't know when it's expected to close. I have a feeling it'll close pretty soon. Even once it closes, you can use it. You can download the regular one and use it for 30 days without being charged. But give it a try. I'm still finding an occasional bug with inline and reporting them. I think we found one last time and I reported that. Okay, so speaking of inline, let me do that right here. Aged brie. Oh, wait, no, I don't want to do it yet. So this passes, right? Which means I can now get rid of this. And now update quality for aged brie is only used in one place, and I can inline it. Here we go. Whoop-woo. It's add itself unnecessarily. I'm humming. Yeah, EAPs they do come around fairly frequently, and I tend to live on it. That is, it's very rare for it to be so buggy that I can't use it. Most of the time I'm able to live in the EAP. But this is an interesting one. Let me jot this down and report it as a potential. It's correct, right? It's correct, but it's unnecessary. It would be nicest if it didn't include the self dots. Try again. And replace self dot with nothing. Replace all. Run tests. Commit. So there is the beginnings of aged brie. All right, let's keep going. What's next? Backstage passes. So let's do the same dance. Override update quality. Call update quality for backstage passes, and that should work. Now go back to where I can do it this way. I can go. Let me explain what I'm doing. Actually, you can see it. I'm going kind of fast, I admit, but you're getting to see how why I like this so much. When I do a shortcut or an action, including command clicking on something, you can see, because I have the this plugin to share my shortcuts. That's like go to the declaration, and then I can go to the use, and there's the first use, and I can get rid of this. And we are good. Now let me come back and inline this. This will pass. And now I can get rid of the self dots. Beautiful. things are moving around. Sulfurous. Sulfurous does nothing. Its quality magically stays the same. So its update quality is super easy, but it also becomes a little more evident that it does nothing. There. So all we are left with is update quality for everything else, which I can now inline. Hot dog, I'm loving inline. How I have missed you. Oops. Try again. Eh. Nice. So where are we? We have, let me add some blank lines. Separate these. I'm not even sure that these need to be public. You know, because it's only inside of, well, no, nothing here. You can also remove first if in update quality. Uh-oh, which one? I'm not sure which one you mean. Do. All right. Well, I think we are in a place now where I can, in the parent class. So in here, so this is the parent class. This is inside of item. Or do you mean in here? Is this what you mean? Items for each item. Inside item. Sorry. Inside item. Get rid of the first if? I don't know if, and unfortunately, this is hard to do even with your chatting because of the lag, right? This would be more fun if we were doing it together and we were talking. Duplication. If quality, oh, you mean the reduction of quality by 1? This is, let's look. Starting from the bottom. Sulfurous, the quality never changes. For backstage passes, there's all this stuff about how it relates to the sell-in date. Because the closer it gets to the date of the concert, the more valuable it becomes. Aged brie, the quality actually increases. And then here, the quality decreases as long as it is positive. And then depending on, I guess it doesn't go negative, but yeah, it's still a bit of confusion inside of there. But at least it's isolated down to one place. Remember where we started? If you have not tried the Gilded Rosa yourself, it could be a lot of fun. So I think we're good. But this we can probably, for each item, can I do that? Well, not items for each. Thank you. I'm trying to find, it's like, there's got to be some way to do this. Doesn't seem to like that. Probably because it's not a closure. Let me inline it. Get back. Revert. Because this doesn't need to be broken out anymore, but let me inline it. There we go. And now I should be able to say, get rid of this and replace it with $0. And now you're saying that no, that's not quite working. There, this is where I don't want to monkey around with syntax too much. But this isn't bad. It doesn't read too bad and gets rid of that private method. You can remove the parentheses. Oh, you mean turning it into a trailing closure. Let me do that here. Like this. Bump. That is better. Thank you. All right. Shall we implement now the last thing? Here's the good question, Mudshark. When we add the new functionality, do we still use the approvals, updating the changes as we go? Well, the ones that are there should stay the same. We're going to add a new item, so I think we can leave the existing tests alone and just add a new test for conjured items. How does this work anyway? Let me get back to the Gilded Rose. Oh, interesting. It came right to me. My face. That's not. Conjured items degrade in quality twice as fast as normal items. Ooh. So the way I am understanding this is that for a conjured item, it's not a state on an item, I don't think. That's a good question, though. I think it is just a brand new item. So let's make a new item. Here we go. Conjured. And commit that. And add it in here. Oh, Wait, I need a new subclass. Oh, and I don't really need these to be public. Hang on a second. Let me make all these private. Well, that's if they stay in this file. Let me just get rid of the publics at least. Oops. I want to remove public space. There we go. Okay. So now let's add a conjured item. That is like that. Except that the name is item conjured. Nothing is calling this. And now we can stick it in. So here we go. That's a good question. Let me show you why I'm not going that way. I'm being lazy. And I'll explain my laziness. Nothing is calling it, nothing is calling it, nothing is calling it. Which means it doesn't break anything. Is it good? Not yet. But now let's add a test. And the quality should be just like this, except twice as much. Interesting. Hey, I've reached an hour, but I want to finish this. And so I intend to go a little longer. I do have a lunch to go to today, but that's not until a little bit later. But in case any of you need to run off, let me share quickly what I would like to do next week. Some quick announcements. One is that I think this will be my last live coding this year, because next week is the iOS Dev Happy Hour special holiday gathering, and I don't always go to those. In fact, I'm such an introvert that like landing in a giant Zoom meeting with all these people I don't know is actually terrifying. But once in a while, I like to go just to be part of the community. And so I think I'll go this next time. So that's next week. So I don't want to conflict with that. And then after that, I have family coming. So I will be jealously guarding that time. But let me show you what I'm thinking for next year. We've often talked about Swift UI, and I was looking on Mastodon for a good macOS client, and I found something that's not a macOS client, but it runs fine on Mac Catalyst. And look at all these. Oh, that's not it. Is it inside of like here? No, those are view controllers. I know there's Swift UI in here. Must be in the views. Yeah, we got Swift UI. We've got a whole bunch of stuff, and it has practically no tests. And so I'm thinking this could be fun because it's a bunch of legacy code, and with no disrespect to the person who wrote all this amazing Swift UI that I'd never be able to write, I think it'd be fun to explore this. That's what I'm thinking, in case you need to run off. All right, let's keep going with this. we have a conjured item in place. Let's add a test for this. It does feel like it's time for the test. A link to the project. It's called Tusker. Let me see if I can't bring it up real fast. This is Git. Here it is. I'll just paste that in right here. Tests. We have one giant test with a bazillion test cases in here. Let's add a test for conjured items. Now I still have TCR on. So at this point, I'm going to get a little afraid, but let me run tests to commit this. And I think what I would like to do, the sell-in date won't matter, I don't think, or will it? It needs to honor the same thing as the regular item, except twice as fast. Oh, so sell-in does matter in here. All right. Here's what I want here's what I propose. Let me copy this. Ooh, scary. Except we are only going to do the conjured item. So this will only be for the conjured cases. And I'll keep the rest. It seems like overkill. But this will fail. I have TCR on, so I'm going to cheat a little here and copy this. This will fail, and will it revert the tests? So here are the tests. I'm going to approve that. Ah, good. I have the tests excluded. So that should now pass without doing anything. Some of these are unnecessary because like 49 and 50, I think, are for checking aged brie. Let me get rid of some of these. So that gets rid of, I just want to make this a little simpler. Commit that. And these are for concert dates. So let's do sell-in of like how about, let's just add one. There we go. So now I have a test case that is just like a regular item, which is called foo here, except that it uses these sell-in dates, either the day before, the day of, or the day after, these qualities and what happens to them, and we verify all the combinations. And now, and here's where this terrifically bothers some TDD purists, but I am going to make the change using TCR. By saying, what if I override, here we go. Let's override quality like that. Oh yeah, call super, stick that in. In fact, can I inline this now and keep the method? Won't let me do that. I'm going to copy it. And paste it in. Exactly the same. But now, where it degrades in quality, I want it to degrade twice as fast. This is how I understand it, and this is how I'm going to verify it. So here are the test cases. And conjured. So this is sell-in, and the quality 1 degrades not to 0. So these are the new results, but it degrades twice as fast to -1. That seems correct. And the sell-in still decreases. So this is a little backwards from going through and writing an assertion up front, as you would do in TDD. But I think this is correct. And TDD, it's a mindset. It's not a set of rules that you have to obey. It is a way of thinking. And that's why it really bothers the purists. I think, oh, I forgot to, it just reverted all that. Okay. It reverted that and my tests fail. So now I can come back here and say degrade twice as fast. I don't like this. This is duplicated code. Bear with me a little while longer because I want to be done with this. Because now I feel like this degrade really needs to be isolated somehow. Not that one. There we go. Degrading in the base quality. Let's say I'm thinking, what happens if I extract this? Degrade by 1, degrade by 2. I'm wondering, yeah, about introducing a parameter. Exactly. So let's do that. I'll replace this one. Call it degrade by. Same here. Actually, I'll leave that one there. Pull this up. And quality, you know, I think I can extract this whole thing because the same quality greater than 0 is right here. Now let's extract this. Call this degrade by amount. Like that. I'll make it file private because I think, oh, and inline it now. Aha! Joy! I think I can now say if the sell-in has degraded a lot, then degrade it again. Nice. So down here, we can say degrade by 2. Woot! And is there a way to do this? A nice step. No, I'm just going to do it by hand. There we go. That's better. And there you have it. I think that wraps up my my go at the conjured at the Gilded Rose. Sell in, you know, this ought to also change, shouldn't it? Let's do it. This is like, this is a new day. It's the tick for the new day. Advance. What to call this? Reduce sell-in by day? No. What is it doing? It is go to next day. Advance by 1 day. Something like that. Make this file private. See, now this is starting to look like something. For a regular item, degrade by 1, advance by a day. If it's, that's probably another bit of conditional logic there, is like if it's past the date, degrade again. But let's look for sell-in, any reductions of sell-in. Like that. Ah, there's a pattern. Whoops. Oh, quality equals quality minus quality. This becomes 0. Okay, so there's still more that you could do around expressing the actual logic by extracting helpers like this. We could change this conditional into like, is it past its day? And down here, you know, in the other places, depending on what type of item it is, it could be like, it would express other things, but this is pretty good. Let me just extract this one. Past, like that. I'm just going to focus on this one and not do the rest. Okay, so a regular item, we degrade, we advance by a day, and if it's past the sell-in date, then degrade even more. Where degrade is guaranteed not to go negative. I like it. All right, there we have it. That's the Gilded Rose. So you won't see me unless no, with family around, I really don't think I want to. I want to jealously guard that time. If I do any coding on it'll be on my own, sitting out in the family room with everyone so that they're close by. So you won't see me on here until January. And when we do come back, I intend to have a go at bringing this Mastodon client, this iOS, actually, I think it's an iPad. Yeah, it looks like it's probably an iPad app for a Mastodon. Figure out what can we do? Say we want to add a feature. What would that be? What do I think about the organization? Where to start? I think there will be some fun things to explore, especially stepping into Swift UI. So that is the plan. Whatever you celebrate at the end of the year, I wish for you joy and peace and safety and health. And, if you don't mind, I wish you a very, very Merry Christmas, even if you don't celebrate it, because I do. I wish those blessings for you as well, whatever that means for you. Okay? Take care, and I will see you 2023. All right. Thanks, everyone.